Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another timeless gameplay video, this time featuring a Eldrazi ramp deck, or Eldramp deck as I'm calling it, using the new Modern Horizon 3 cards which have been released today on Arena. So we have a lot of new cards and the idea is we ramp into some big bad Eldrazi. So our new ramp cards are Ugin's Labyrinth, which has imprint, so when it ETBs you may exile a colourless card with mana value 7 or greater from your hand, and we have a fair few of those. And then it taps to add colourless, and if a card is exiled with Ugin's Labyrinth, add 2 colourless instead. And then we can tap it to return the exile card to its owner's hand. So we play this early, exile a card with it, and then later on we can get that card back and cast it when we ramped in. It that heralds the end is a 2 mana 2/2 Eldrazi, and it has colourless spells you cast with mana value 7 or greater, cost 1 less to cast, so it makes our big bad Eldrazi a bit cheaper. And other colourless creatures we control get +1/+1. And then Warm Power Stone enters tap, but it taps to 2 colourless mana. And the rest of the new cards are, we're playing with 1 copy of Kozilek's Unsealing. It's 3 mana and including the blue. This is when you cast a creature spell with mana value 4, 5 or 6, you create 2/0/1 colourless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens. We only actually have 1 creature with 4, 5 or 6 mana cost, and that's Fortnot Seer, which we'll get to in a bit. And then whenever we cast a creature spell with mana value 7 or greater, we draw 3 cards. We also have 1 copy of Echoes of Eternity, which is 6, which includes 3 colourless mana. And colourless mana needs to be paid with specific colourless mana, such as from Warm Power Stone. It cannot be paid with any colour mana. And it says, if a trigger ability of a colourless spell you control or another colourless permanent you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. And then whenever you cast a colourless spell, copy it. So that's any colourless spell, any of our Eldrazi's or any of our ramp tokens. We have Drowner of Truth. It can come down as a land, tap for green and blue, and it's tapped. Otherwise, it's a 7/6 for 7. When you cast a spell, if colourless mana was spent to cast it, which it most likely will, we create 2/0/1 colourless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens with sacrifice this creature, add colourless. Devourer of Destiny is a really powerful card. It's a 7 mana 6/6. However, if it's in an opening hand, we may reveal it. If we do look at the top 4 cards of our library, we may put one of those back on top and exile the rest. That way, basically, we know what we're going to draw on our first turn, which is great. And then when we cast this spell, exile target permanent, that's 1 or more colours. This is basically our only removal spell, and it only targets 1 or more colours, but it is any permanent. Won't count lands. Lands are always colourless. Then we have Null Drifter and Eldrazi Mole Drifter. It's a 7 mana 4/4. When you cast this spell, draw 2 cards. That will be triggered by Echoes of Eternity. And it has Flying of an Annihilator 1. And you can evoke it for 2 and a blue. Evoke means basically when it ETBs, you sacrifice it straight away. So you'll get that cast trigger to draw 2 cards for 3. And this is the main reason why we're playing blue is the only coloured mana we are playing. Then the new Ulamog, it's a 10 mana 7/7. When you cast a spell, target opponent exiles the top half of their library rounded up. Has ward, sacrifice 2 permanents. Not the most impactful ward, it's something that your opponents will want to do. But Ulamog ETBs with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the greatest mana value among cards in exile. So if your opponent exiles, say, their own Ulamog for 10, our Ulamog is getting 10 +1/+1 counters, and then Ulamog has Annihilator X, where X is a number of +1/+1 counters on it. Then we have Kozilek's Command, which is X and 2 colourless, and like all command spells, we choose 2. Target player creates X/0/1 colourless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens with sacrifice this creature, add 0. This is a great way to ramp. Target player scries X, then draws a card. So in fact, we can cast it to 2 and scry nothing, but then draw a card. And because it's an instant, that's pretty good as well. We could just draw a card at the end of opponent's turn. Then we exile target creature with mana value X or less. So this is another removal spell that can target creatures. And then exile to up to X target permanents from graveyards. Most of the time, we'll probably be scrying and drawing, exiling a creature, or getting those Eldrazi spawn to ramp. Then next up, we have returning cards essentially. Guardian Idol and Mindstone are ramp artifacts that tap for colourless. Fortnot Seer, 3 and a colourless. When it ETBs, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from exile it. And then when Thornseer leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. Forsaken Monument is really powerful instead because it's a 5 mana artifact. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2, which is all our creatures. And whenever you tap a permanent for Colorless, you add an additional Colorless. And when you cast a Colorless spell, you gain 2 life. So this is a real powerful card to basically buff our entire board and our mana generation. And then mana base, we have 4 Ipnu Rivulet. We can pay 1 to add blue, but we can also just tap it for Colorless. So that's where our blue mana often comes from. 1 island, 2 Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi, so it makes it uncountable. 4 Conduit Pylons, we can pay 1 generic to add 1 mana of any colour, or we can just tap it for Colorless, and it ETBs we Devour 1, and more importantly I think it doesn't enter tapped. Inventor's Fair, single copy, so beginning of upkeep control, at the beginning of our upkeep, if we control 3 or more artifacts, we gain 1 life, and we have a fair few artifacts lying around, and then we can pay 4 and tap it to sacrifice Inventor's Fair, search our library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into a hand, then shuffle. We can only activate if we do control 3 or more artifacts, so we'll most likely be searching up Forsaken Monument with this if we don't have it already in hand on the battlefield. And then 4 copies of Radiant Fountain. When it ETBs, we gain 2 life. We can tap it to add Colorless. This is a deck I'm interested to try it with a bit of green as well. Maybe try Fanatic of Ronus to try and get a lot of mana through that. But this is one we are trying first off. Hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. So we have an okay hand. We don't have a 7-drop to play with Ugin's Labyrinth, which is a shame. In fact, I might mulligan because of that. Or we can play Conduit, Pylons and Surveil and see what we get. But otherwise, being able to get out Mind Stone or Guardian Idol on turn 1 would be really good. But let's give it a keep. Let's see what's on top of our library. An island. Don't need that. Poland on Orzhov. Another Conduit Pylons. Well, let's Surveil again. I'll keep Kozilek's Command. And we'll get out Guardian Idol. It enters tapped, and we don't need to play anything this turn. Opponent fetches. Godless Shrine. Okay, that's an alchemy card. We'll play the Rivulet. So we could... That's 2. We could exile that. And then we'll scry 2 and draw. That's a good card to ramp into. And next turn we can play the Labyrinth. Get the Devourer down to get some additional ramp and get it back once we can cast it. Wow. People say alchemy is stupid. Well, we might be in trouble here. We'll play out what we can. We can get back Ubin's Labyrinth. Sorry, we can get back... Well, no, we can't. We're dead. Well, who says alchemy's not broken at all? That was a bit ridiculous, really. So, Devourer of Destiny, we will get a couple of... we can look at the top 4. Only really need 1. Getting Ugin's Labyrinth would be really powerful. They're on one of the new energy decks, probably around Primal Powers or something like that. Can't remember exactly what it's called. What do we want? Probably the ramp. We can get a Surveil, Inventor's Fair. So next turn we can Mind Stone. They've got something. Next turn we can Kozilek's Unsealing and then maybe Fortnot Seer the turn after. To get into the hand and create a couple of ramp Eldrazi tokens. They're playing red, so yeah, I think they're going to try and hit Ether Revolt, or not. And we'll get down Warm Power Stone. If we draw an untapped land, we can Kozilek's Unsealing and Thought-Knot Seer. Or we could just Devourer of Destiny if we got an untapped land as well.
I'm certain you're quite charmed to meet me.
Well, that's a good draw. Ugin's Labyrinth will reveal the Devourer of Destiny. Yeah, they didn't activate their Ugin. So now we can just play Devourer of Destiny and get rid of their Ugin. Maybe they wanted to turn one of my ramp tokens into an artifact. But next turn, yeah, we can Kozilek's Unsealing, Thought-Knot Seer. To create some tokens, get into their hand. Well, that was slightly irritating. Being able to do that instant speed as well was annoying with the last mana they had. But obviously we do have another one. That's really powerful with all the 1 mana energy creators. They'll be able to basically take out any card we play with Jarsil, especially since it doesn't exile the card afterwards. Well, that is a draw. because we can exile cards from their graveyard and Jarsil. But what I'll do, I'm going to play the Unsealing, play Thought Not Seer, take a tune with Ether, and then I think we just play Guardian Idol. Sack the 2 spawns. They'll be able to kill the Thought Not Seer. They'll get back that red instant. I'll take that. Well, we have enough to get back Devourer of Destiny, play it, exile Jarsil. We draw 3 from Kozilek's Unsealing. And then I think we'll keep the Thought Not Seer back for now. Next turn we can take out the Tarmogoyf with Kozilek's Command or play a Drowner of Truth. Another Oko.
The trembles of truth twirl and curl, choking out lies.
Well, that's annoying.
You see the humor here.
What we'll do is we'll sacrifice the Inventor's Fair for Forsaken Monument. Which will buff the Thought Not Seer. Well, for now. But Oko will just transform it, basically. Another Devourer of Destiny will take out Oko would be really good. Maybe he'll take out my Forsaken Monument. We could use Kozilek's Command to create a lot of Eldrazi Spawn, which with Forsaken Monument will get +2/+2, and if we play It That Heralds the End as well, we'll give them +1/+1. Their opponent's thinking about something.
Gaze into my face and
If I attack with a Tarmogoyf, I will double block. Drowner of Truth will also draw us 3 cards with Kozilek's Unsealing. I'll block the Tarmogoyf. Double block it. So I'm going to play out Drowner of Truth. Let's see. Hopefully we could draw into something useful. Not really. So how much mana do we have? We have 9. Well, I'm actually, well, not surprised. We built a massive board. And we, you know, even with Oko turning something into an elk or whatever it is every turn, that's quite the board, because we're about to create a couple more Eldrazi tokens as well. Ooh. Well, we do get the Devourer of Destiny trigger, and we can Ugin's Labyrinth, a Drowner of Truth. So I think this is a keeper. We can get down Warm Power Stone on turn 2. And let's see what we hit with Devourer of Destiny. We'll play one of the Drowner of Truths as a land tapped on turn 1. We could grab the Guardian Idol and get that down turn 1. And then turn 2 Power Stone, turn 3 Forsaken Monument. I think that's pretty good. We will imprint the Devourer they know about. So turn 2 we will play one of the Drowners as a land, unless we hit another land. Play out the Warm Power Stone. And turn 3 we should be able to get out Forsaken Monument. They are on blue-white, which is obviously usually a control deck. Lavinia, okay, I'll play out the Pylons. Surveil, Null Drifter's a good draw. Why would it not let us play the Power Stone? This is really, really weird. We have 4 mana and it won't let us play the Power Stone. Oh, because of Lavinia. That's irritating. I can take Lavinia out with Kozilek's Command. No, I can't. Well, that is incredibly frustrating. Now we can get down the Power Stone. So Felia, one of the new a new card from Modern Horizons 3. Master player second Drowner of Truth as a land as well, just so we could potentially Kozilek's Command. Another Ugin's Labyrinth. Or we could actually do, get this down. Imprint the Drowner of Truth. Play out our Null Drifter, which is a creature spell, so we can play it through the Lavinia. Which is a good blocker as well. And next turn we can get the Devourer of Destiny back and cast that and take out Lavinia. Our opponent's trying out kind of like Stacks deck. Well, I can just get rid of the Null Drifter. And the Null Drifter is a cast trigger, not a ETB trigger. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we'll get back the, just check that's the right one, the Devourer of Destiny. I have a feeling this will be countered, but the removal is a cast trigger. Maybe they have protection. I will keep Null Drifter back just because obviously they're going to blink something with Felia, so I need the other blocker. And next turn we can Colorless command. Probably the Felia. We have 8 mana, so yeah, so let's Felia's 2, so let's X2 and then we will get some stuff on our board. We set our 4 mana so we can Thought Knot Seer. Yeah. So that Lavinia, that did a lot of work. And I've not seen the card, I think, ever. So I wasn't sure what it did at the start. But then next turn we could have got down Forsaken Monument, which would have buffed all our colorless creatures. And we had 8 mana without even playing Drowner of Truth as an extra land. So a really good result. Not sure why he hates me. He's never met me. We can run with Kozlet's command, even though it's not the fastest. But if we can ramp into Forsaken Monument, then I think we can have a good game. Let's Surveil, see what we hit. We don't need another Rivulet. Oh, it's a shame that wasn't in our opening hand. We might just cast one of the Kozlet command just to draw a card. Although our opponent's not doing anything, so probably not. A second Devourer of Destiny. What I will do is I will then cast command for 1. I imagine they have the counterspell. We'll scry 1, we'll create a token. Ether Spike, I think, is the counter spell. Yeah, I'll draw Ulamog. We're here to do big Eldrazi thingies. So next turn we can get down Forsaken Monument. Or no, we can't. But I will get down Ugin's Labyrinth. Say goodbye to a Devour of Destiny for now. Next turn I think we can just cast Ulamog. They exile half our library, we gain 2. It's a 16/16 with Annihilator 7. Now they will have to sacrifice 2 permanents when they want to target it, but obviously they might be able to combo off. Because if we attack, they've got to sacrifice 7 permanents. Even if they get rid of Ulamog though, we are still in good shape. They don't have enough energy. Do they have another one? They might do. They've got to sacrifice 2 more permanents. Yeah, that was never really going to work. But I said if they did manage to take out Ulamog, we still had, we could have Devour of Destiny, the Ether Revolt next turn, as well as get out Guardian Idol, Kozzet's Command for a big X. We had 10 mana, and then any land we draw would have put it up to 12, and we'd have gained back a lot of life with Forsaken Monument. So a really good result there, and it showed the power of the new Ulamog. Not the fastest hand, but Devour of Destiny can get us to look at our top 4. And will be reduced by, its casting cost will be reduced by, it heralds the end. We only need to do 1 really. I'd rather not exile 6 cards. Ugin's Labyrinth is a great one to grab. Because now we can Mind Stone turn 1. Up against the energy deck as well again. Null Drifter's decent draw. Put it on Eldrazi. Yeah, let's draw. We'll evoke the Null Drifter. Hits another Null Drifter. Up to 7 energy, which is quite a lot. Let's get down the pylons and then see what we've got on top of our library. Don't need another Rivulet. We'll get down the monument, and then next turn we can hopefully go off. Ooh, that wasn't fun. So we still have a lot of mana. We gain 2. So let's get out with the Devourer of Destiny. We'll get rid of the flyer. They have Ophelia as well, which is irritating, but hopefully we can draw into something that deals with it. Gain 2 more life by playing it that heralds the end, and that's a 4/4. Next turn we could play that with an Old Drifter and the Drowner of Truth, but I think we just had too much power on the board for them. Hello Magic fans, and welcome back to the wrap up. So we only played 5 games with this. I'm trying to get this video out as soon as possible after the set's been released, and we lost our first game, and after that first game I did wonder if this was going to be too slow for Timeless. But then we won our next 4 games, and I would say pretty comfortably. I think having that Devourer of Destiny, I think, is a really powerful card. Having that card selection if you have it in your opening hand, and then also it can ramp if you get Ugin's Labyrinth, which since you look to the top 4 of your library, you're more likely to get one. And then it having the cast trigger to remove a permanent of 1 or more colours. It is a bit of an all-rounder. I would like to try one with a bit of green with Fanatic of Ronus, which taps for 4 if you've got control a creature of 4 or more power, which Thought Not Seer does, and then includes something like Topiary Stomper. But I think, yeah, this is a really powerful deck for now. It might be as well that a lot of people are playing new decks. We played against a lot of energy decks. One, the guy misplayed quite a lot. And the second one tried to take out a 16/16 Ulamog with walled sacrifice 2 permanents with all their damage base removal, which was never going to work. But a really, really powerful deck and a really fun one to play. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.